Okay, YouTubers, I suppose you guys have seen enough forward upper ball joint swaps. I know I did. They were all very good. They helped me out considerably. I'm going to do a lower ball joint swap. I did use YouTube, and I've never done this before. I did it on the driver's side, and it worked pretty good. Used a few tips from you guys on YouTube, which I always use. Can't beat it. So I figured, you know what? I'll do one from a perspective of a guy that's never done this before. Take it slow, and try to put out some key points that I think might have helped me out when I was trying this before. So first thing I done was I got a bucket ready. I saw a guy on YouTube. He said, you know, have something ready to prop your brake caliper on, and that was a good tip. I'm going to loosen up the brake calipers, and I'm going to remove that to get it up out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. I already loosened it up. I'm going to set it right there. Comes in handy. Keep your lines loose. Then you've got this sensor wire here that goes to your anti-lock brakes, and you don't want to pull that out or break it. So I gotta be careful when I take the main drum off here. Okay, so let's see here. Let me set this camera down. Next thing you gotta do is take this pin off here. I already squeezed it flat, so it should come off. There it is. And then I'm gonna take off that nut on the, well, check that. I'm gonna loosen that nut on the bottom. It's a 15/16, fits nice and snug. And as one of the YouTubers suggested, which was very handy, is loosen it down to the bottom. Don't take it off. Leave it on the bottom. That was a great tip. I will try to figure out who gave me a lot of the tips along the way, and put them in the links down below. Most of what I've done so far on this Explorer has been very easy. It's a 98, and there's not a lot of rusted parts. Everything seems to come loose just the way it should, and I've been very impressed with it. We'll see if we can't get this side done with a minimum amount of hassle. So I'm going to loosen up that nut. Okay, I'm going to take it off. Then I'm going to thread it back on so I know how much I got to go. And that should keep it on. Now, I put the upper on, and I got it buttoned down before I took a look at the lower ones and decided, you know what, for 35 bucks each, I'm already digging into it, let's get it done. So I'm going to take this bolt back off and drop this whole assembly down. 5/8 is a little bit loose on the nut, but a 17 millimeter on the head seems to fit pretty good. So I just got to stabilize the side with a box end wrench, and I'll take off the backside with a 17 millimeter. Seems to fit pretty good. Okay, bolts out. Now, I'm going to see how easy it is to just tap this loose. Okay, not bad. Okay. Now I'm free. But I've still got to tap it down at the bottom there. Okay, I used a little rope here to stabilize this so it wouldn't fall and stretch this line out right here. Now I'm going to come back down to here. That slack I got right here, I got to take that out, so I got to drop this down. Hoping with a little tapping it'll just drop on its own. If not, jam one of these up in there and force it down. Okay. Did enough tapping on that, didn't drop down on its own. Now I'm going to encourage it a little further. Sticking a fork up in there. Bingo. Okay, now I gotta reposition the camera. See it drop down on that nut? That's what the other guy said. He said if you pop it loose and you're taking that nut all the way off, it'll fall off. That nut catches it. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick this up. Take that nut all the way off. The nut drop down. It is a heavy little bugger. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to undo my rope here. This bird's nest of crap. A bungee cord would be better, but I didn't have one handy. Okay, take that up out of the way. Here we go. You can see the ball joint right there. This is the other side. You can tell that this area here gets pressed out. You've got a keeper ring here that's got to come off, and then tap that out. It helps if you have the right tools, which I don't, but we'll give it a go anyway. Okay, that's out. I'm going to use a socket to extend it because the heads of the hammer is a little bit big. I don't want to ding up the edges of the arm. Set that there. Finish it off. Ball joint out. Dry, thrashed, and making a lot of noise. Alright, I'm going to clean up the outer edge here. Clean up the inside. And then I'm going to try to press on the new one. It was a bit of a pain with the Harbor Freight ball joint kit, but you know, if you guys ever want to make things harder on yourself, get a tool at Harbor Freight. Then again, you know, I'm not going to buy a $120 ball joint tool for something I might never have to do again. Okay, new ball joint. I don't want to do this too many times, so I went for a really good ball joint. I'm going to stick that up in there, jam it in so it doesn't fall back out. I'm going to use my Harbor Freight ball joint tool. Using the appropriate ring size. So if you look at the other ball joint and this ring, stick them together. That's going to press up, hangs on that flange, presses this up into the A-arm. It's a pretty good tool for a one-time use situation, and it was cheap. 70 bucks, I think. Throw in a coupon and right in around 50 bucks or so. Okay, so I'm gonna put that up in there. I'm gonna put this little cup right here that's got a little divot right up here. I'm gonna feed this threaded right up in the top. I don't want to adjust the camera too much because it took me a long time to get it to stay where it was. I'm going to put that down into there until it's snug and it's not going to fall back out, and I'll adjust. Okay, now this is going to spin around. It's going to hit right there, so I might as well just have it there in the first place. Okay, I'm going to take my handy dandy little mirror here and do a little inspecting around the edge, make sure I'm dialed in. Yep. Okay, now that's basically it in a nutshell. I'll have to do a little adjustment later to it as I start getting it up in there, but I just want to get it up, started, and I'll fine tune from there. Okay, so 7/8 on top here. Drop that on. See if I can adjust this camera a little bit better. Okay. Alright. I'm going to loosen it back up and see how far I got. I'm nowhere near all the way on, but now it'll stay up there when I take this off. Okay, this is where I'm at now. I got to come up even higher in order to get that clip over that. So let's see if I can't use one of these other rings for a spacer. I'm going to take this back off. I'm going to put this on the bottom here. I'm going to put this plate back on the bottom. I'm going to get the ring that fits this one here. That's going to come up the underside again. Okay, I'm going to put this ring over here. I'm going to put this on top of that. Stabilize it. Okay, now I'm going to drop this back in. Okay, got it enough to where it's not going to fall. Now I can fine tune it. Okay, there we go. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. This thing here is going to go up quite a bit. And I'm going to finish it off right now. It actually turns quite easy. Okay, let me get my mirror up in here, do a little inspection. I got, yeah, about a fat eighth, 3/16 to go. Should be snug. I'll rest that up there. Double check it with my mirror. It does appear to be seated. Yep, looks good. Just gonna give it one more crank. Just to make sure. Okay. Now I can take this off. And all I gotta say is, Harbor Freight did it again. I take back all that shit talking I did about you earlier. In the lower ball joint kit, you're gonna get a new ring, a new pin, a new nut, and if you get a good ball joint, a Zerk fitting. First things first, the clip. Going to try to snap that on. On. Okay, I got my keeper on. Now I'm going to put the Zerk fitting on. Some might say to wait till the last minute so you don't shank it off, but I don't want to have to be reaching in there, so I'm going to put it on right now. I'm going to try to get it aimed where I can get a grease gun over it. So either to the front or the back. I guess to the back. That is a bitch. Okay, got that nut started up in there. Now, I'm going to tighten it up a little ways. Okay, now before I get too tight, I'm going to shove this upper ball joint back in there. While I can still move everything around pretty freely. Done. Okay. Tighten it down. Put the nut back on. right size. It's a little loose, but this side is snug. So I got new shocks, new upper control arm and ball joint, and new lower ball joints. All I gotta do is put the keeper pin in here. I got the pin in. Now all I gotta do is put the brake pads back on and put the caliper back on, and I think she's about done. Caliper's on, bolted down, brake pads are in, and I would say that that is a wrap. 1998 Ford Explorer, lower ball joints. Hopefully that helps somebody out.